New recipe, guys. So I want to do an oyster mushroom chicken, fried chicken recipe. So I'm gonna use to season the flour and give it more flavor. I'm gonna use all-purpose seasoning. It's gluten-free and soy-free. I'm gonna use some curry powder. I have some ginger that is already juiced. I have some of the cardamom, onions. You could use powdered turmeric to give it color, but I'm gonna use fresh squeezed turmeric juice with some spices and garlic. I have some garlic that I'm gonna saute just to give it more flavor. You could do the recipe with just this and maybe a little bit of I don't know, any other seasoning that you have in your house. But I like to give it flavor because, you know, eating is about falling in love with the food and putting ingredients together that make you feel alive. That's why I like to use fresh ingredients as much as possible. And this with a little bit of kick from the, I'm not gonna use all of this. I'm just gonna use like, because it's a little spicy to some people, I'm just gonna use like 1/3 of a shot. Same thing with the curry. You don't have to use it. I just want to give it a little more flavor because this is for me and my family, so I'm just gonna do what I like, but you don't have to use that. You could just use this with the flour that we're gonna use, a wet and dry mixture, and you could just do a little bit of garlic and maybe some onions if you like onions. You can even do a little bit of cilantro if you like cilantro, or parsley. I'm just gonna use what I have right now just so you guys can see how to take oyster mushrooms and make them into something even beautiful and delicious. Just want to show you the oyster mushroom. I'm gonna leave them in their flour form. I'm not going to, if you do the calamari, you're gonna rip them apart like strips, but we're not gonna do that because we want the full one. So you're gonna rinse it lightly just to take anything that doesn't belong when you rinse them. I'm not gonna show you how to rinse them because it's very simple, and I'm only using one hand. Once you have it rinsed, we're gonna come back and work on the other part of the recipe. So first I'm gonna rinse my oyster mushroom, and then I'm gonna saute the garlic just to get the flavors out of the garlic, and leave this intact to add it to my mixture. Hey guys, so I already have, oh shoot, I'm burning. Okay you guys, so here I have the mushrooms. I have the ingredients combined here. I'm gonna mix it with the dry ones too, the fresh veggies. And let's see, one thing that I forgot to mention, this is so hard. I'm gonna have to mix this and come back to take the video because it's too hard to do it with one hand. So here I have it almost 100% mixed. I'm gonna add this into this. I have the 1.5 cup of flour with these ingredients here, and now I'm gonna add the fresh ones into this. Okay, so I have my mixture. This is the wet one and the dry one. So the dry one is just dry. You can add more seasoning if you want to, more the dry seasoning, maybe like the all-purpose seasoning, or maybe a little more of the curry powder. It's up to you. You could just do it like this with a pinch of the all-purpose seasoning. And this is good enough, so now I can use the mushroom and add it into the mixture. I also recommend that you put your finger and taste, just to make sure that you don't have too much spices, or you know, that is well balanced. So let's see how good of a job I can do with one hand. So take my piece, I should be using gloves, but this is for me. You know? So it's nice. Cover everywhere. And then just gonna cover everywhere just to seal it. Dust it and place it in your, this is, I'm just gonna put it here for the meantime, but we're gonna fry this in another container. So you're gonna continue make sure you get it everywhere. Dust it, dust it, dust it, dust it. Okay? Okay, so I did this at 355. We are going to do this at 355 for 3 minutes. So I did the first side, and now I'm going to do the other side for another minute. Okay? So I have this coming out. Okay, so this is the first batch. Smells really good. So here we have the second batch. I have a third one, but it's not gonna fit on this plate, so I'm gonna have to use another plate. Just want you guys to see. Okay, so I have the 2 containers gave me this much. So it's a lot actually, because I added the onions, peppers, scallions and stuff like that, so it added more body to the entire recipe. And you can see here we have some left over, but they're so small that I don't want to get them because I want the pieces to be big like this, like, you know, like real big. That way I feel like I actually did some real recipe. This one you could, just want you guys to see. This, you guys can either save it. If you're gonna do more, you could use this as the base or trash it, because I wouldn't use it. That's just me though. Even though it does have a lot of pieces, I just don't want to eat all of that flour. So this is very little flour and a lot of the other ingredients. And I'm gonna have mine with a little bit of hot sauce because I love hot sauce. I'm gonna take some to the kids and my sister, my mother, and my brother. But here you can see how it looks. And it tastes so good. It's crazy how good it tastes. Reminds me of my grandmother because she used to add onion to everything and garlic.